Hi lovelies, and welcome to the Witch's Cookery, your channel for magical lifestyle, science-based spirituality and enchanted shenanigans. Today we're talking about setting intentions. If you are a spiritual person, a go-getter or a witchy poo, you might have heard of that term in regards to manifestation, spell work or overall success. So we will discuss what setting an intention even means, how to set a different intention with different techniques and ways to approach it, and what downfalls to look out for when setting your intention. This might also be interesting to the more seasoned practitioner because this is usually the core of why your spell work doesn't work. And last but not least, we will see how you can weave your intention into your spell or ritual. So, what means intention?
Child!
Child is fine.
A child is fine.
Okay, let's do this again. Intention is nothing more or less than the purpose or the reason. I have to get the child in here. I cannot concentrate like this.
Okay, let's try this.
The camera see nothing. The camera can see nothing. It's gonna take a long time. The intention is nothing more or less than the purpose behind a certain activity, spell, ritual, meditation. So setting an intention basically means putting it out into the universe, what you want to receive, create, attract, have. So in relation to witchcraft, it basically answers the question of what you want your spell to achieve. Personally, I like to set my intentions a bit less specific, like I go by broader terms like healing, happiness, groundedness. So it describes more of energy or quality when I do my spell work. But of course, you can also set your intention or word your intention as a full-on sentence for a very specific goal. For example, I'm getting a raise of so and so much money, or I'm closing the deal on this house. So setting the intention is the process of clearly communicating, first of all, to your mind and your subconscious what you want, and then depending on your belief system, maybe also to the universe, to your spirit guides, to the gods, whatever you believe in. I, as the skeptical little witchy poo that I am, see it more as a psychological tool. So why is setting your intentions so powerful? So since setting an intention is so focused on a specific goal or outcome, it also requires you to really reflect on what you want, need or desire. It's just the first step to getting what you want. If you're only unspecifically flailing around without any idea, that is obviously not a perfect environment for success of any kind, neither for a very mindful life filled with clarity about yourself. Alright. Baby passed out. Just gonna put my boob away for a second. Sorry about that. Good enough. Whenever you set an intention, so whenever you form a sentence or an idea of what you really want, you probably have in your brain a positive reaction to it when you picture it. You feel like, oh, that would be great to have, that would be great to get, that would be great to achieve. So first of all, it gets your brain all those lovely little natural drugs of serotonin, dopamine and all that other stuff that your little chunky up here really will enjoy. And with that, it brings a change in attitude and hopefully also mindset, which will then make it more likely for you to be actually motivated to take certain steps or even see certain opportunities to get to what you need or want. So with setting an intention, we do prime our mind to see opportunities, and it doesn't mean that setting the intention put the opportunities there. It just means that they were always there, but before you weren't able to see them because you were A, not clear on what you want, or B, you might have been in a place of negativity, suffering, only seeing problems instead of looking for solutions. A little psychology on the side. How do you set an intention? Well, there are different ways and you just have to find the one that speaks to you. Obviously, if you do spell work, ritual, manifestation, journaling, whatever it is, you have a reason to do that. So you either want to solve a problem or you want to achieve something. So we need to get to the core of this, to the desire, to what do you want. And a lot of people enjoy to find some calm, a meditative space for them, reflect on what they need in that moment. Or for other people, it might come intuitively. By the way, intuition, another very vital witch skill on which I already made a video, part of this little mini series about skills to master as a witch. Check it out, linked up here and down below. What I personally love to do is to set an intention for the the day. That means in the morning I take 10 minutes where I light a candle, sit down, have my coffee and think about what I need in that day, what I want to achieve in that day. And I'm not speaking about goals here, I'm speaking about an overlaying theme. So words might pop up like productivity, strength, self-care, relaxation, and depending on what fits, I take that and make that my intention for the entire day. That then also helps me plan my activities for the day, prioritize what I do on that day. So if you have your intention summarized in a word or in a sentence or in a feeling, what do you do next? Personally, I like to channel the energy. Sounds fancy, just meaning I like to envision the feeling that it will give me. If my intention for a spell is to attract happiness or positivity, I'm focusing on thinking happy thoughts and recalling that feeling of when I was really happy. Kind of like when Harry Potter does the Patronus charm. So my brain is fired up with all that good stuff again. My intention is about attracting prosperity or abundance. I try to get in a mindset of gratefulness for what I have and what I already achieved or what I already attracted. That again gets my brain in a positive mood and make sure that I see the opportunities to attract more of the same. From a psychological perspective, that step is super important. Get the necessary motivation, get the kick. If your spells sometimes fail and you're always skipping that step, try it with that step and see if that changes something for you. So now you have your intention, you thought about your intention, what do you do next? Well, different options for different people. You can just carry it in your mind and in your heart if that works for you. Other people might prefer something more tangible. So if you read spell books, for example, you always find those fancy little cantations and stuff like that, and it's nothing else but an intention put into words. So you can do that, you can speak your intention, you can sing your intention, you can do an interpretive dance about your intention, sign it in sign language, write it down. Journaling, for example, is one of my favorite things to set intentions. You can draw your intention, for example, with sigil magic. How you word your intentions doesn't really matter, it has to speak to you. What a lot of people do, and especially a lot of people that are into the law of attraction, is to word it in a positive fashion and if it was already true. There are a ton of woo-woo theories behind that, why you should do that I won't go into, but from a scientific point of view, trust me, it also helps because again, it helps your brain to be positive. So when should you set intentions? Well, I like to set mine daily in the morning. More information on that, you can also watch my video on my spiritual morning routine, just because it gives my day guidance and it also primes me for success in whatever I want to achieve that day. And it makes for a much happier, mindful living if you trust your needs and your wants and take a couple of minutes to reflect on that, or you rush out the door and get stuck in a hamster wheel. Could also set weekly intentions, monthly intentions. A lot of people like to go with the lunar phases and do a new moon rituals for new intentions, or choose the full moon to do something around that. I usually also set an intention for a ritual on the different holidays on the wheel of year. But also outside all that magical stuff, you can also set intentions for very mundane things, especially if you want to pay attention to living more mindfully and more true to your authentic self. For example, if you're about to have a conversation with someone, you might want to set an intention for the outcome of that. If you're decorating a new corner of your house, you want to go intentionally into it and set a theme, an intention for that as well. Or simple everyday things like picking out your outfit in the morning with intention for something. That also kind of plays into glamour magic here a little bit. How do you put your intention into your spell work or ritual? Now, as a witch, one of the most important tools that you have is your will, and here intention setting is key. What most classical spell work essentially does is to take tools to strengthen your intention. Basically, just puts bells and whistles and prettiness all around that topic that you have chosen. And how that exactly works will depend on your belief. Tools or physical things can just help you focus more or focus your energy, focus your thought, concentrate and prime your subconscious to one certain thing. So whenever you do spell work or a ritual, you do want to focus on your intention, because it's the entire purpose of why you are casting that specific spell. And while you do so, you have a multitude of different techniques out there on how to perform your spell. Now, I as a kitchen witch really love to infuse my food with certain energies, sprinkle fitting herbs in there and stir the pot. All I do when I say I infuse it with my intention is that I really think about what I wanted to do, and I kind of visualize that intention flowing into the goulash. Whatever, you know. When you work with sigil magic, you're writing down your intention and then you make it into a magical symbol that you then further use. When you do candle magic and you might want to anoint or dress a candle with certain herbs or oils that are related to your spell outcome, your intention, you will also do so while you're thinking, meditating about that intention. When you do some sort of meditative ritual, you might choose a mantra, like a repetitive phrase that keeps your intention, that you keep repeating. You see, there are many, many ways of how to infuse intention into spell work. How do you make your intentions work? How do you make your intentions come true? Or why are your spells not working? So unless an intention comes to you intuitively in the moment and you just know this is what I need, you probably will need to deep dive a little bit in your wants, needs and desires first. And what I personally also like to do is to question the energy or the intention behind the intention. Why do I want something? Why do I need something? And now that comes down to personal beliefs or personal ethics. I don't believe in doing things out of negative emotion. I don't believe in doing things out of jealousy, out of spite. I don't want to waste my precious time or energy scheming up stuff to achieve something that is born out of those feelings. So unless a desire or a wish comes out of a positive, self-enriching, empowering type of feeling, I'm not gonna bother with it. I just feel it makes me happier and more productive and more positive in life, but you do you, boo. You wanna hex that bitch because she grabbed the last jeans in your size, you do that. In case you're feeling you're struggling with that and you do a lot of spell work out of negative emotions and it only brings you more negative emotions, my tip is shadow work, heal first and resist those urges, those reactive type of behaviors and go more into a reflective type of behavior. Might sound tippy-dippy, but I do feel on some level good attracts good. When coming up with an intention, a dream, a desire, also be reflective of what that does with you. Does it feel too big? Does it feel like you're reaching for the stars? You're asking for too much? Again, shadow work. Why do you think you cannot achieve a certain thing? Why do you have doubts about it working? It might be because other people told you so, or because it's just ingrained through society in your brain. Doesn't mean that it's necessarily true. Sometimes delusion is your biggest friend. Positive thinking can really do wonders on your mind and on your ability to achieve things. Be aware of your inner limitations that are there for no real reason. Obviously, you will have outer limitations, and those can make it really hard, but the unseen inner limitations are even worse because they really play on your mind. Creativity is born in poverty. Really reevaluate what holds you back. Another really important aspect when setting intention is to watch your mindset. Coming from a place of desperately needing something is sometimes just what life is, because you might be lacking something, but try to not let it affect your mindset too much. Try to also keep gratitude in mind, those positive line of thinking. Always imagine your brain and your ability to see opportunities opening up the second you think positive. You come from a place of positivity, of gratefulness in the moment. Because like it or not, that's how our brains are wired. If you stay in that I need to, I have to, I'm lacking kind of mindset, psychologically your brain is like shutting the shutters here and doesn't let you see all the option because it's in survival mode. And of course, after having set your intentions, doing your spell work, stay mindful. Are your actions aligned with your intention? If you're really feeling burned out and at the beginning of the day you set your intention for self-care or relaxation and then you go into work and everyone is asking you to do additional jobs and you say yes to everything, that clashes a little bit with your intention here. So even if you do all that magic, you do have to make sure that your mundane efforts match what you spiritually had planned. It won't happen by itself. You are the one that has to make it happen still. Setting that intention just makes it easier for you to actually achieve it. It doesn't do it for you. So if you look at the discrepancies here, that is the distance from where you are now with your actions, and you have to align them in order to get to your higher self, to to your goal. Right, so those are my 2 cents on setting intention. I hope that helped. Next time in this mini-series, we'll talk about the last of the 3 I's in witchcraft, how to get intuition, intention, and imagination aligned to create the life you want. Wishing you a magical week. Next week, I shall be back with a fun witchy vlog. Goodbye! So, wanna say goodbye? Oh, you're so cute. You're so cute. Oh, tiny potato. Ah, that double chin does nothing for you, but you're still so cute. You're still so cute.